Hi, my name is Alessandro Cangelosi and that's a new video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for MaxCookie. This time I like to talk about fluid dynamics applied to some realistic thing we can have in the real life world every day. And I'm talking about a chimney pot. So we'll model a really simple chimney pot, a little bit more complex than this one, and we'll prepare the simulation for the smoke. So let's start checking the unit setup. There we have centimeters, and let's say that we have the base of the model, and we can do it in a really simple way using a standard primitives, the tube. And let's try to adjust the 8 to 60 centimeters, and let's stay with 25 for radius 1 and 20 for radius 2, maybe 80. So to have a quadratic base, we can just remove, you see, the face, the sides, so we have the shape, really simple. Then I like to play a little bit with the shape, and we can remove also the 8 segments and remove the smooth. So we have this shape and it will be perfect. But let's convert to Editable Poly using the right mouse button, and then we can select all the sides over there using the Control key, and maybe we can use also this. Okay, then we go, let's expand there, then we go to do a chamfer, and you see that we are able to add a little bit of detail, and let's go for 2 segments. Okay, so we have the shape, you see now it is a little bit better, and we have to create some more stuffs, and to do something like that we can go there and we can rotate by 45 degree. Okay, so we have it in the right position. Let's go there and let's create some additional pieces, and to attach more pieces we can use the chamfer box, and we go for something like that. Let's go there to see if it is going in the right way, and I think it can be okay. Maybe we have just to make it a little bit more little on this side, and then it will be okay. Let's have a little bit higher too. So let's move there and let's center over the y-axis. Okay, so then we need to make a copy on the other side using the shift key, and let's move it there as an instance, and let's make the same thing there. Perfect. Let's select this one and this one, and let's rotate by 90 degree using the shift key as instance, and you see that we have all the pieces we need in the right area. So obviously I'm not trying to do a really realistic model, so you see it's really simple, but I like to add a little bit of detail, and to do something like that we can use the capsule, and we can go there and let's say that it is more little, something like that. The height is not important, and let's align to this one over the y-axis, and then we can move it to make it a little bit visible, and we can have one there, and using the shift key one there as an instance. Then we can clone, rotate, okay, and let's align on the green, or maybe we can just do in a simple way, moving in the middle there, and depending on there we can have something like that. Okay, so then we can just select both, shift key, and moving there, and then we can move. Then we can select both, this one and this one, and moving. Perfect. So we have this basic structure, and we can have this one. We'll have a brick shader, and we can assign. Then edit, select invert, metal, okay, and we can assign it. Perfect. Then let's create more pieces, and to create those pieces we can create a shape, and let's think to use maybe just a line, like this. Let's move these vertices, and a little bit over the other axis. Perfect. Then let's select the spline, and we can go to create an outline. Perfect. Then all the vertices can have a little bit of fillet. Okay, perfect. Then let's go to have an extrude, and we can go to move this one, over the y-axis, and having in this way, and we can do it a little bit higher for the moment. It will be done using the metal, this one too, and let's go to affect pivot, and we'll align this one over this axis, close, then shift key, (45), and let's say 3 copy, so we have the 3 copy at the same time. Perfect. So then let's create the upper area, and the upper area can be really simple. Let's create a rectangle, and then we align to the center of this one, we move it there, and we make it a little bit bigger, so let's say 55 and 55 centimeters, and a little bit of corner radius, just to have a curved radius, just a little bit. Okay, then I like to create an extrusion, and we can maybe, I'm thinking about how to do it, and we can do using, for example, a loft. So let's say that we have a line and we can align this one to the center there. It is too long, so we change it in this way, and maybe we do this one a little bit longer over both axes, so 60. Perfect. So let's pick this one, and we have this line there, and we say compound, loft, get shape, and we have this one. So we have a really simple model, as you see, but we can use the deformation, and you see that we have this one, but we can just move this one to 0. We can add a vertex there, and we can move it, and we can make 100%. So you see we have this simple shape. Okay, close, and you see that we have this shape. Then we can convert to Editable Poly, select this face and cancel. Then we can select both and say shell. So you see that now we have a 3D structure. Let's do inside. Okay. Perfect. So it is really simple, but we have an interesting shape. Perfect. Let's maybe move this one there. Do something like that. So we see just the chimney pot, and let's save the scene in the right folder, 3ds Max. Let's say fluids simulating a chimney pot. Okay, so let's continue to work on the scene, and to do something like that we can just have a light, and to do something really simple we go to have a target direct. Let's say that this view is a camera, then target direct, and we'll move it. Let's zoom all the view, and we'll move over there, and we can say that we have the shadows, and we have an higher scale there, the overshoot to have illumination all over, and we say that we'll have the shadows for the atmospherics. Let's change the color a little bit, just a little bit. Let's say 1.3, and then we add also, I will use no high quality render because we don't need it, but you know, you can do it. Okay, let's say 0.5, and let's go to see a test. 400, show save frame, and let's move this one. Okay, render, and that's our actual status. Really simple. Let's pick there the shadows, and let's say 0 there, and let's say 238. Okay, it is a little better. Let's go for 4,000. Okay, the shadows is better. Let's go to have a more smooth shadows. Okay, perfect. Let's pick this one and let's say that it's cast shadows. Let's try with 8 rays, and you see that we have right shadows there. Let's go to change also the environment color. So we'll have a color more similar to a sky, and let's say 52, maybe 74, 100. So you see something similar to sky color. Let's render, and you see that's right. So save. Perfect. Let's prepare a shader for this one, and you know we just worked on this one, and we can use a substance. Let's wait. Okay, let's move it there. Substance. Okay, and the substance can be a texture, and let's say for example brick wall 02. Let's go there and let's make it visible. We have to rotate by 90 degrees, and we can have more tiling, and we can remove a little bit of blurring. Perfect. So let's say that we have a little bit in the maps. Copy this one, let's say to specular level, and there we have to say that's a specular map, and we can use the same for bumping, and let's go to have maybe 0.5. Save. Let's see the result. It seems not bad. It is not amazing, so we can change some value there. Let's go for 0.5. And 1, and let's see. Okay, let's stay with this value. Then the metal, let's do a really simple metal. Let's try with the metal there, and let's try to have again a substance, just to have a really fast way to create the shader. Let's see what we have there. We have a rusty metal, and this one. Okay, we didn't use the UV map, so we can use a box, and we can do the same, selecting the line 114, and we can generate. Perfect. So the color, I don't like the color, so let's go there, and let's say that we have something like that. Less luminosity. Okay, and a little bit of specularity. And let's see what we have in rendering. Okay, it is really simple, obviously. I'm not trying to simulate a really realistic look there, because it's not the main purpose of the video. So let's save. Okay, now we need to create the Fume Effects emitter, and we can use a simple emitter, so a simple source. Let's create it, and let's remove from the viewport lights and cameras so we have more space. Let's move this one inside the chimney there, and let's close down with a box so we can have no smoke coming down. Okay, perfect. Let's align inside the chimney. Let's say okay, yes, and we can move it. Perfect. So now we need obviously to maybe we can do it a little bit more little. Now we can say how to set it, and we can have maybe maybe a little bit bigger scale for the turbulence actually. And then we need the Fume Effects. Okay, let's move it there, and we can do, let's align in the middle of this one. Perfect. And we need it higher, and we can need it bigger, but we can also later move or change it. Okay, let's make it bigger on the side. We have the scale, and for the moment it can be enough. Let's say that we like to see the smoke. Let's open the preview window, and let's open also the user interface there. Okay, so the emitter is this one, but we need also all the other objects. So let's use the H key, and we need the box, the chamfer, the lines, and the loft, and the tube. We cannot use the capsule because they are really little and are not so important. Perfect. Let's save. And the simulation, let's say that we have 100 iteration, and let's remove the simulate fluid fuel because we need just smoke. Let's see what happens if we have, obviously we can add also just the illumination, so using the H key, let's say the direct. Let's see what happens. We are still the smoke, not moving. Let's make it a little bit more little there, and again. It should work now. Okay, smoke is moving. See, it is moving inside the camera, but obviously we need more frames to simulate it. Or we can do something else. We can select this one, the source, and we can say that we have more speed. Let's say, for example, 10 centimeters. Maybe now it is too much. If you have Fume Effects 3, you can use the GPU, and using the GPU you can say to use the object. So you see we have the object and the shadows, so it will be more precise. Okay, let's see the simulation, and we should have the smoke coming out, but we are still not seeing the smoke because it is there. Let's go back still to 1 because I like just to understand what is happening. Okay, now it is moving. Okay, so let's say that our animation is 300, and let's say okay, and let's say that the simulation is starting at -100 and it's 300. So smoke is coming up. We need for sure, I think, more pressure to make the right simulation, because you see the smoke is compressing there, and we need to make it moving. Okay, so now let's go to set, let's say maybe 10 centimeters there, and let's start having a better scale for simulation. So you see the smoke is starting to stay inside, and then should be able to go outside. It is still not able to move. In the meantime, we are working with the stuffs. I like to add also a wind, and the wind will move in this direction. Okay, so again back there, and let's say that we like to have also this wind, and the wind maybe we can say 2, and we'll have maybe we can add a little bit of turbulence, so let's say maybe 2, 1.3, and let's stay with 1 for the scaling, or maybe 0.5. Let's see again how it looks. You see that it is starting to move over there. And it is moving out. Maybe actually it is still to match the wind, so let's go to 1 and 0.3 there, and let's go in the simulation there. Let's say that we have a little bit of turbulence, so we can have something more interesting, and we can have a really low turbulence. Let's say maybe we have less vorticity, 0.3, and we have, let's say, 0.5 for the turbulence, and later we can change it, and we have the scaling 30 centimeters, and we have more detail, maybe 3.5, and let's see what happened. So smoke is coming out, you see. Maybe we need less turbulence, so let's go to have a really low turbulence, let's say 0.1, and let's say that the wind local and safe, and again let's simulate. So you see the smoke is coming out. let's simulate some frames so we can see it. For the moment I stopped the recording. Okay, you see that we have the simulation. Maybe the quality is not so high, but wait a moment, we have to say that we see the simulation until frame 300, and it is moving, I hope in the right way, but we have to see how it looks. So let's move it there and let's try to make one render. Okay, you see that we have there the smoke is not so visible actually. So let's go inside Fume Effects in the render, and we say we have no fire, it's not a problem. Let's say that the environment is something like that, but darker, and the color is white, can be okay, and we need the cast shadow and receive shadow. Let's see how it will change. Okay, you see that now we have the shadows there, but we need first of all a little bit more visibility. Let's try with 1.5. And we need to have more smoke coming out. And another thing, let's say soften edges near object. So we see a little bit less precise edges. Let's go for an higher step size to have a bit better quality. Another thing I like to do so is to go inside the object simple and say that we have a little bit more speed. Let's try with 20 there and 5 for the radial, and let's try to resimulate again. Let's see together, just maybe it's better to have just maybe also the 0 for the radial speed, because we need just the speed for smoke coming out. And maybe you will change a little bit the shape there to give a bigger area to the smoke to coming out, just to speed up the things we are doing. So let's say that this one stay there and this one is something like that. Again, resimulate, and we should have a bigger area to make the smoke coming out. Let's continue checking it, and I think I can stop the recording so we can see it together. Okay, let's check together the result. It seems not bad. Let's render a frame. It seems not bad. We have to, obviously, if you like to have a longer smoke there, you have just to play with the parameters, but I like to see just some little smoke all around there, and something we can do is to trying to see what happens if we have a lower scale. Let's go to 1.5, and we go to have an higher quality simulation. Let's save, and let's make this simulation to see what happened. I stopped the recording so we can see it later. Okay, I just simulated some frames. You see that now we have a lot of more detail, so a lot of detail, more than before. Let's see how it looks, so we can tune the look, and then we can move to the final render. So you see, it is not bad, and I think that the result is interesting. Maybe we can just tune a little bit the color. Let's go to have a keyless color, and let's go for something less white. And let's see if it is better. Okay, I prefer in this way. So actually we are using a nice scale that gives us a lot of detail, as you can see, but obviously you can add still more detail. So let's save this one, and you can launch the final simulation, and you can play to tweak the parameters and something like that. So for the moment that's all, and I hope to see you back on MaxCookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.